traveled to the Nether Dimension, unaware of what I would find. The terrain was hot and rocky, the air smelled of sulfur and tasted of copper. All around were unextinguished flames. Those that dwelled here were foreign to me. They walked like man but had the features of pigs. I traveled long distances over foreign terrain. Large, white, flying creatures attacked me with balls of fire. I finally found what appeared to be a shack. It is the only thing that resembles anything made by man. I took refuge inside. The fireplace was lit, and a bed sack lay nearby. I looked in the chest and found supplies, but more importantly was Aslaug's journal. This must have been his home. The journal read, "I believe I have located the star. There is a nearby fortress guarded by the ancient order of the Knights of Wither. I must capture one of the knights to ascertain the whereabouts of the star. This task will not be easy. I have to be prepared. I will need a bow and a quiver of arrows for the dangerous spirits of the flame, and I will need my sword of smite in case I need to slay any of the Knights of Wither. I should be able to capture a knight with iron bars. There is a local tribe of piglins, as I have come to call them, although they also resemble the undead. I have tried to decipher their language, and from what I can understand, I think there is another portal nearby that is still functional. The locals have found out my plan. They don't think that the star should be handled by human, and I think they may attempt to stop me. I will need to work swiftly and act soon." After that, there are a few torn out pages, along with some instructions on how to use a portal to go where you want. This may come in need. I grabbed the supplies and head out to find the fortress. It was close, and the spirits of flames were all around. I did manage to locate a knight and arranged a trap. "You are my prisoner now. Tell me, where might I find the Nether Star?"
You know not of which you ask. Your human brain cannot begin to understand the power of the star. You cannot even remember who you are.
"How do you know that?"
I am very old and very wise. There are prophecies that a human would come back with the star. Although many have tried, only one has managed to locate and take the star.
"You mean Aslaug?"
You know that name, but not your own? I will tell you where the star was hidden so that you can see for yourself that it is gone.
He told me of a sacred chamber with a small pool of lava, but the lava was merely an illusion, as there was really a chest there that held the star. It truly was empty. I went back to find out more. "Where did Aslaug go? Where is the portal?"
The portal you speak of is a league west of here, in the Fortress of Mystery. But I caution you, this portal is not like the one you came through. It will not take you back from whence you came.
Did Aslaug go through that portal?
If the stories are true, and your presence is proof, then I fear that he has.
The cryptic knight was of little help, but he did prove to be correct. I came upon the next fortress, and through what seemed to be hours of wandering hallways, I finally found the portal. Nearby was a chest with a saddle, a gold chestplate, a gold sword, and 2 gold ingots. I went to the portal. The instructions said to write a date on a piece of paper, lay it in the portal, and light it with a flint and steel. I followed them to the letter, using a blank page from Aslaug's journal. Then I went through the portal. I came out and was immediately submerged in ice-cold water. I got out and found myself in a familiar land covered in snow. I wandered in the wilderness, It seemed like home, but there was a nagging suspicion that something was not right. As darkness settled, I came across an abandoned camp. The coals were still smoldering. I wonder why they left. There was a journal here. It was Aslaug's. In my travels through the dimensions, I have always done it the same way. I wrote down the year on a piece of paper, set it in the portal as I lit it, and it would take me to that time. However, this does not seem right. This may be an appropriate year, but this certainly isn't the home I remember. What did he mean by that? And if we both traveled to this dimension using the same time, is it possible that he is here and still alive? And if so, why did he leave his campsite? I thought that I should go try to find him, but the darkness was thick, and I felt as though I hadn't slept in days. So I decided to sleep and find Aslaug tomorrow. I awoke at sunrise and set out. I found a wild stallion in the field and decided to tame him, and use the saddle I found in the Nether. Maybe now I can make up for lost time. Before long, I came across a village. A woman was screaming for help and was being chased by a strange creature. I slayed the creature and tried to calm the woman. Once she realized she was safe and I meant her no harm, she thanked me. I asked her if she had seen a man named Aslaug, but she had not. However, she did tell me of a nearby castle with a port, that maybe my friend was there. It was not far. I made it to the castle in no time. I dismounted my steed and asked around for Aslaug. One of the villagers told me to see the king. As I entered the throne room, it felt as though all eyes were upon me. I felt dirty and ill-prepared for an audience with the king. "And who might you be?" "I'm not sure, your highness. I seem to have forgotten who I am." "Oh, has the undead eaten your brain?" "No, your majesty, I haven't been able to remember. But I think there is a man who could help me. His name is Aslaug. Has he been through here?" "That name does sound familiar. There was a ship that left this morning heading to Talis. Maybe he got on it." "Are there any other ships going that way?" "There is another going this evening, but I'm afraid it's full." "Is there any way I can get aboard that ship? I am in dire need to find Aslaug." "Well, there is one thing. A band of pillagers have taken over my mines and killed off all of my workers. If you would go deal with them and return my prized possession, I will make sure you have passage on that ship." I agreed, and immediately mounted my horse and rode to the mines. Sure enough, the place was crawling with pillagers. I took out the guards and made my way inside. I took a few hits, but it wasn't anything my armor couldn't handle. Then I found the treasure room, and the pillager leader came after me with his crossbow. I advanced with my shield. He shot, and his arrow pierced the crook of my arm in between the plates and rendered my shield arm useless. I advanced on him, and he was powerless against my sword. I found the king's treasure and returned it to him. True to his word, he granted me passage to Talis on that evening's ship. A cleric tended to my wounds, and I boarded the ship. As the sun set and the crystal castle faded from view, I couldn't help feeling excited and scared at the same time. Excited that I may find and meet Aslaug in the flesh, and yet scared that he won't know who I am or even how to help me. I have to try. He is my only hope.